reporters, beginning with Alan Cavanna.
Hey, Vince, and Ben Rhodes in the 99 truck had a terrible start to the weekend. Couldn't even crack the top 10 in practice one. Adam, 20-year-old Zane Smith, he hasn't been in a race car since early May in Dover. It's only his 5th career Xfinity Series start, but he says this may be one of the most important. That's because he gets to race today and the very next race in Chicagoland. Vince, it is playoff time. Is it possible to be both the underdog and the favorite in this championship fight? Depends on how you think of Ross Chastain. Matt Crafton had to change an engine after practice, which means he'll start in the rear. But that replacement engine had some issues of its own in qualifying when they lost oil pressure. And Todd Gilliland and crew didn't really know what to expect. They did not make a long run in that final practice, but they were getting better as that run went along. He says he's too tight, though, entering the corner, too loose off the corner. Expect 4 tires and a handling adjustment for Todd Gilliland. And Vincent, let's just address it. I mean, you made a great comeback, Ross, after having to go to the back, but you've so far heard from other drivers. Crew chiefs have come up to you. They're upset with your aggressive driving. What do you say to them? Nice comeback for Austin Hill after Johnny Sauter tried to end his day. We saw what almost ended it. What started it, and how do you want to deal with it? Last week, you guys made headlines for the wrong reasons. What'd you tell your driver and your team to focus on this race and forward? Johnny, you've done a lot of winning, but I've never heard you celebrate like that. Why was this one so satisfying?
Well, when you get kicked to the curb, you know, you feel like you got a lot to prove. So
look at all this confetti. This is great. But you had, at times, for a long stretch of this race, you had a truck where you never had to lift. How do you describe tonight's ride? He said they broke the input shaft of the transmission. If that sounds a bit odd, Joe Shear agrees with you, says it's something he hasn't seen in decades. He is doing all of this with no one in his ears. He says he cannot hear a spotter. He cannot hear the crew chief. Down here in the pits, they're trying to diagnose it from afar. With his crew chief, Wes Ward. First time you two are working together. Your driver's out there in the lead, getting a lot of coaching on the radio. Assess how he's doing. But right here, as they go into 1 and down into 2, they want him sticking on that white line for as long as possible to get a proper launch off of turn 2. Ben Rhodes comes into tonight looking for some redemption. That's because he and this track have some history. Remember this from just 2 years ago.
Allen's there.
And he's on top of your screen. He's been great tonight, but he thinks he can be better. He wants a track bar adjustment and 4 tires. He wants to help the front of his truck be even better than it already is. And Vince, Kyle Busch is not in the race today, but he is doing all he can to help drive that number 18 truck. He's been on the radio with Harrison throughout the race, telling him to take care of the right rear tire. And Sheldon Creed trying to be aggressive right now, trying to push it 3 wide there underneath Kyle Busch, and his spotter came over the radio, said, no, let the 51 do the work, you just follow him. For me, Ben Rhodes has a clean race truck. I don't think anyone's mad at you, and you're second. That's a good day at Martinsville.
Not that we've seen anyways.
Todd said, no, something is wrong. I'm coming to pit road now. We're going to go down there and check it out. We'll see what they say. And Vince, yesterday, Matt Crafton and his crew chief, Junior Joyner, they loved what they had in their truck, but there was vastly different weather conditions. How much does that concern you for this race today? And a few years ago, he won the Cars Championship, and he let everyone know Kyle Larson was his favorite driver. Well, then Kyle Larson, the Cup driver, surprised him at the banquet with a video saying, hey, if you ever make it to a truck or Xfinity race and I'm there, make sure you come see me. I checked with Rafael Lessard just before this race. They haven't met up yet, but Kyle Larson, if you're watching, come see this young driver.
Yeah, pretty cool day for Rafael Lessard.